tell us about Anisia, who is Emma.
I was born here in the south. I left the country when I was a kid and came back in '93 and went through the full story as everybody here, and then decided eventually to come back more often. I'm attached to this country. I love, I don't know, it's an interesting bond, from a child. It's like those tastes that you will always remember, or something that you will always carry with you, even though it's not easy. I went to school for acting in France, in Rennes, which is one of the 3 main superior art school for actors. And then from there I started to work into theater and then into cinema, but as an actress. And then eventually I started to write and to direct, and so so I grew up in Europe. I was born here, and now I'm living in the States.
And going to the point of Tay, of Today by Alain Gomis, you played in the film as a husband and wife. So it's a story of Sache, a returnee who finds out that he has only 24 hours to live. So how did you come to work with Alain Gomis in this film?
Well, at the time I was living in Paris, and I encountered a guy on the street who told me that Alain had just finished this film, that he was in Senegal doing pre-production, and that he was planning on going to New York to try to find me, but I was in Paris. And so, I got a call from his production company that day and a call from Alain that night telling me about the film, and the next day the producers showed up at my house in Paris with the script. The producers told me that the film had already been greenlit, and that was because they had lied and said that I was already attached to the project. And so, yeah, that's how I met him. For Anisia,
yeah, we knew each other. I did a little apparition in his previous movie, Andalusia, and so I just did a casting. So we did a casting with Alain. He was, thinking maybe I could do it, and then we did the classic casting, and so that's how it happened for me. But yeah, it's somebody that I knew and that knows me before.
Tay was a hit, or was an important film which premiered at Berlinale, competing for Golden Year. What was the experience in working a film as big as that?
It was a magical shooting. We were in Senegal, in Dakar, with a Senegalese crew. To me, it was very beautiful, a very great experience.
It was a magical experience from the way that it was written. The script itself, so I told you I received the script and spent a month reading it. The script was written like a novel. So already as on the page, the writing was beautiful, and the whole story was told through the eyes of Sache on the page. And so arriving in Senegal and with this beautiful crew and what have you, and spending so much time there, anyone we would meet on the street and we would tell what the movie is about, they go, oh, I love that story, this is such an amazing story. So I think it really starts with the story, the experience of the film. And so going to Berlinale or Venice or any major festival is awesome, but it's even more awesome when you're there with a project that you really love and feel connected to. And so that, that's what was beautiful about that experience, was that the film itself was so beautifully imagined and rendered.
I'm a young artist. You are my idol. Inspire me.
One, I think the most important thing for any young artist is to realize that whatever you're looking for in life is also looking for you. So the process of learning to follow your gut, to have the courage to make the attempt to, see your dream eye to eye and achieve it, to put in the work. that goes into whatever it is your dream may be, you know, whether that's in film or music or writing or what have you. I think the time that we devote to learning and studying eventually pays off. You're not always going to have support around you. There's a lot of people who don't understand the arts. There's a lot of people who don't understand the importance of the arts in relationship to culture, in relationship to identity, in relationship to the prospering of even a nation. You know, the arts is crucial. I mean, I'm from the US, I'm born and raised in New York. You know, what would the US be without the influence of the arts? You know, that is to speak of the influence of also the African American culture on American culture, you know, and how that affects how we see ourselves and how we feel ourselves and what we sing and why we sing and all of these things. So it's important for artists, I think, to know that there is a global support system for the arts, even if it's not close to you. A lot of times our parents may even be like, yeah, but how are you gonna make a living? Because they're worried. Because yes, it is hardcore. It's a strong decision to make to be an artist. But I think there's a humongous payoff in how your ability to see and understand and grow through time develops through the arts, and how you're able to make sense of the world. And so I think, you know, it's about finding that courage, and then, you know, just in light of what you said, you know, to be inspired. Inspiration simply means to breathe in. In English, inspire means to breathe in, expire means to breathe out, suspire means to stop breathing. So you don't have to go far to be inspired. You just have to breathe through it.